Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in from work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait? It's a time calling. It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Billies our hope, so to need less reason. Nobody feel left out. Is the vibe with the
morning, Belize. Welcome to the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. This is Monday morning, 17th of March, 2025. I'm Mose Hyde, and if you're watching us on XTV, you know that we look kind of different. It's not the usual setting, and that is because we are bringing you Reef Week 2025, a week delayed, of course, because of the election coverage. So we begin, and you know, at least you should know by now, that this is an annual festival for us celebrating the reef. We are proud to have participated in it every year, and even though this year it's been more challenging than ever before, especially with the coverage for elections, we are still going to get this done. So we want to welcome you all. You're listening to us on XTV, listen to us on Creme Radio, watching us on XTV. We want to welcome you to our house. Those getting us via social media streams, those getting us via our simulcast coverage or various apps. It's great to have you here. And in case you're wondering, well, what part with it? Well, we are at the famous spot on North Front Street called the Spooners Reggae Cafe, formerly known as Spooners Cafe. It's on the bank of the Halover Creek, and it could not be a better location to celebrate Reef Week. So with that said, again, good morning to you. Welcome to Reef Week edition of WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Things are a little different, but for the most part, still the same. We have to try to get you up to date with the weather. We've got to get you linked in with the latest news. So let's try to get to that this morning. Firstly, we've got to get the weather forecast from the National Meteorological Service. Forecaster Catherine Kamabach is going to serve that up.
A weak cold front approaching near the country will bring milder temperatures and a slight increase in moisture. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for cloudy skies today with a few sunny spots, especially over inland areas at first, then mainly along coastal areas and offshore. Tonight, the skies will be cloudy with a few showers to develop mainly along the central and south coast.
You never know.
High temperatures today will range from 84 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 86 inland and 76 over the mountains. Tonight, low temperatures will drop to 24 along coastal areas, 66 inland, and 62 in the higher elevations. The winds will blow from the northwest at 10 to 20 knots, and the sea state will be choppy. A high tide will occur at 11:22 this morning, followed by a low at 6:29 tonight. Another high will occur at 23 minutes past midnight and a low at 6:05 a.m. The sun will rise at 1 minute to 6 today and set at 6:03 this evening. The moon will set at 7:50 this morning and comes up at 8:56 tonight. The outlook for Tuesday and Tuesday night is for cloudy intervals along with a few showers to develop mainly along the south coast during the day and becoming isolated or little to none by nighttime. In the sargassum forecast, some sargassum mats are expected to continue drifting into our area during the next few days, producing moderate impacts. And in the fire forecast, the risk for forest and brush fire remain low over the next 24 hours. And that's your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
And welcome back to Reef Week WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. And you just got the weather forecast, which now means we get you up to date with the latest news. Because we're a little bit different, as we said before, but certain things remain the same. We're not changing it. We got to give you the weather. We got to give you the news. So, the latest news, Creme News XTV has confirmed the incursion of members of the Guatemalan Armed Forces in a Guatemalan naval vessel inside the Zapadilla Keys Marine Reserve in Belize's southern waters. Reports are that the incursion occurred before 7 a.m. on Sunday. The Belize Coast Guard responded to the incident and escorted the vessel out of Belize's marine waters. The Guatemalan naval officers indicated they had crashed into the reef and damaged their propeller. The Department of the Environment says it will investigate the extent of damages. Prime Minister John Bisenyo late Saturday afternoon announced his new cabinet appointments. There will be 18 full ministers, 8 ministers of state, and a new post of senior minister of state. In making cabinet appointments, any prime minister considers seniority, performance, both at the polls and in previous portfolios, qualifications, and loyalty, among others. The biggest win goes to newcomer Tea Garcia Ramirez, who will become a full minister of government on her first win at the polls. She is being assigned human development, family support, and gender affairs. Garcia Ramirez is the daughter of the Prime Minister's CEO, Nada Garcia, but also the niece of Dolores Balavamas Garcia, who previously held the said portfolio together with Indigenous Peoples Affairs. Balavamas Garcia is now the one to hold the post of Senior Minister of State in the office of the Prime Minister. The other notable change concerns former Minister of Transport, Youth and Sports, Rodwell Ferguson, who has been relegated to a Minister of State in the office of the Prime Minister with no specified portfolio. In the case of Dr. Osman Martinez, he will remain as Minister of State for Economic Development in the office of the Prime Minister. The Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, which commands the second largest budget after Finance, is being assigned to Oscar Requena. He will have as Minister of State Ramon Monchi Cervantes. Dr. Louis Zabane will now have a full ministry responsible for transport, indigenous, constitution, and religious affairs. Also being elevated to a substantive minister is Oscar Mira, who gets national defense and border security, while Florencio Marin Jr. will now serve as Minister of Rural Transformation, Community Development, Labor, and Local Government. The Prime Minister keeps finance, investment, and economic transformation, e-governance, and civil aviation. Cordell Hyde is to remain Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Natural Resources. Julius Espat retains Infrastructure Development and Housing. Kevin Bernard keeps the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and Anthony Marler will be responsible still for Tourism and Diaspora Relations, but gets Youth and Sports. Francis Fonseca retains Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Culture, and receives Immigration. Hosemai holds Agriculture, Food Security, and Enterprise, while Michel Shebat retains Public Utilities, Energy, and Logistics. There are no changes to the portfolios of Andre Perez with Blue Economy and Marine Conservation, but Nemo goes to Henry Usher, who keeps Public Service and Good Governance. Orlando Habet retains Sustainable Development, Climate Change, and Solid Waste Management, and Karim Musa remains as Minister of Home Affairs. Anthony Sylvester will continue as Attorney General. He is the only ministerial appointment that does not require membership in either House of Parliament. The other Ministers of State are Devin Daly for Youth and Sports, Ramiro Ramirez for Sustainable Development and Solid Waste Management, Gilroy Usher for Public Utilities, Energy and Logistics, Alex Balona for Agriculture, and Marconi Leal Jr. for Foreign Trade. Stuart Leslie will serve as Cabinet Secretary and Chief of Staff. All will be sworn in on Monday. The list of CEOs will be announced at a later date. On February 22nd, 26-year-old wife El Araru, 24-year-old Iman Mala, and 23-year-old Qatar Nakad, U.S. nationals of Moroccan descent from the city of Revere in Massachusetts, were found dead in their hotel room on Hamburger Ski in San Pedro. The police department had asked the National Fire Service and the Department of the Environment to test the room for the presence of carbon monoxide. Based on the results, the National Fire Service indicated they had ruled out that carbon monoxide was present in the room. Now, the Daily Mail has reported the early suspicion that it may have been, in fact, carbon monoxide poisoning that led to the woman's death. On March 11th, the Daily Mail wrote in an article that while the woman's cadavers have been repatriated and a second autopsy is being conducted, complete results are expected in a month's time. Nonetheless, they reported that a source close to one of the girls' families told dailymail.com that a preliminary report indicated the fatal buildup of fluid in their lungs was caused by carbon monoxide poisoning. The source further states that investigators have discovered other non-fatal incidents of carbon monoxide poisoning at the Royal Kahal and have made contact with at least one other American victim. We note that 2 Fridays ago, the Royal Kahal Resort closed abruptly and cancelled guest reservations. The 12-member Organization of American States Electoral Observer Mission, in its 19-page report on the 2025 general elections, reported being informed by electoral authorities that the presentation of voters' IDs was not mandatory during voting. The mission considers that the ID is a reliable, standardized means of identification which supports the reliable identification of voters during elections. The mission was told that if a voter turns up without their ID, the presiding officer can identify a voter by other means, including verifying that their information corresponds with the data contained in the voters list and or the registration documents held by the electoral and polling station officials. The mission therefore recommends that the Representation of the People Act be amended to require that voters present their voter's ID card when voting. Additionally, it calls for the inclusion of a photograph in the voters list to provide polling station officials with an additional mechanism to verify the identity of voters. Meanwhile, the mission also supports that the Elections and Boundaries Department use technology to provide preliminary results of the election's outcome, just as it provides data regarding hourly voter turnout. For the 2025 general elections, the department had 48 staffers at the central office in Belmopan entering the voter turnout information received by phone from the presiding officers around the country. They use an app that has been developed in partnership with Total Business Solutions. The OAS mission observed that the same app was used to receive and publish division-level election results of the Count 1 form from the returning officers who were using cell phones and a Microsoft Surface Pro tablet. However, the department did not consider the information official until the signed paperwork arrived from the divisions at the central office in Belmopan. Some arrived until the following morning. The OAS mission believes that the department already has the infrastructure to fully implement a preliminary result system, including the preliminary winning candidate in every division and the preliminary number of seats. The mission affirms that this will provide the public with an official source of preliminary election results. And that ends our morning news update here inside the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We're going to take ourselves a small break, and then when we come back on the other side, we're going to open up a full WUB conversation here this Monday morning, 17th of March, 2025. Right now, we take a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Atlantic Online. In this step-by-step video, we will show you
Welcome back. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, and we are at Spooner's Reggae Cafe. It used to be called Spooner's Cafe, but then my good Jamaican friend Garth take it over, and you know how the Jamaican go, everything they want put reggae in, so they somehow put reggae in the name. That's it. So the Spooner's Reggae Cafe, I'm a bedroom, so I could chance until when we talk on Friday. Every year, for those who are not familiar, and it's always in March, and it's usually the week that follows the 9th of March holiday, whenever that falls, when we get together and we do Reef Week here on the WUB. And we're very proud because we are a founding member of the Reef Week committee, and we are still committed to the ideas and the objectives of the movement to honor and celebrate that which is so critically important to us. And so we want to just take the time out to honor Reef Week and to acknowledge the sponsors who are making it possible. First, we have to recognize that the week is being celebrated under the theme Building Resilience from Ridge to Reef. And our sponsors this morning for Reef Week, the entire week, includes Atlantic Bank, Benny's Home Center, Central Bank of Belize, CG United, Freetown Drug Store, Port of Belize, Wildlife Conservation Society, Oceana, Marlon Castillo Quality Meats, Human Dignity Trust, excuse me, Design Depot, and World Wildlife Fund. So these are the, we want to thank them much. As you should know, Reef Week means that majority of our conversation this week is going to be set around those issues and those topics that are related to the reef and related to marine issues. So that's going to take place throughout the week, and that's going to happen this morning. We are going to have Fisher Folk live in the house at 7:30, and then after that, later on in the show, we're going to be joined by our colleague Marco Lopez, who has been really become a very prominent writer and journalist that covers issues, marine issues, and he has a new article out. We'll be talking about that with him later on this morning. So right now we are, of course, open to conversation, and we invite you to link with us. They say breeze blow pelican, same place where you want to go. So I had the other pelican where breeze blow right here, so now on water side this morning, and you couldn't feel more Reef Week than right here with the sailing vessels from Sardinia as our backdrop, where we see live preparation to go to sea, even though this is not the kind of weather where nobody eager to go to sea, right, my bedroom? we have a Fisher Folk already in the house, and yeah, they're not weather where you no mind stay right to par your day. But our ambient noise includes the birds. We got wild ducks and pelicans, and all of them they go on one way. We had an early morning visit from a dolphin all the way up inside Hoover Creek. And then the way how my Jamaican bedroom set it is that he give us a studio right side of the kitchen, so that we could smell all of the early morning things in the guana. Spooners, God, you're not God. You're a devious fellow, but when I talk about it on Friday, you put the right side of the kitchen, so we have to smell all of that smell. And while we are focused on heavy matters, we have to deal with that. All right, call me back, caller. Yes, we are available. 672-4770. That is the please call us on WhatsApp. It's easier. So 672-4770, and we are again right off of Northfront Street. Now we've been all over Belize. We've been up and down the coast. We've been deep down in PG. Last year we were in Corozal. We've been offshore, both San Pedro, Kikaka. We have been Hopkins, Placencia, Dangriga. These are some of the places that we have been to. But right now we have a call. WB, good morning.
Morning, Mose. Morning, please. I am so happy with this set. I know that they all over the place, but this I do believe may be my favorite set for week from WB. Just the vibes, just man, I love it. I really get it there. Give thanks and not take long. I call because we often hear Belizeans that ask for blood donation. And I have somebody where approached me because there's a young Belizean who is on dialysis, young brother in their 20s, and they need units of blood for a sustained period of time. He's a positive, I believe, and from what they tell me, that positive could give positive blood. But I don't know. If Red Cross have a blood bank, most like Belize need one. Do they have one?
No, there is a blood bank, which I don't know if it's affiliated with Red Cross. I know that it has members, and I know that they actively do this type of work, trying to make sure that there is ample blood supply for people when they need it. There is, I believe, there's a campaign. It's a low volume campaign, but you do have people who are members who give all the time. And so I don't know that it's affiliated with Red Cross, but there is, I could get the link for that. I know my brother is a member, Mike, and so he has a lot more information than I do.
Okay, because and I hear about that initiative, but what I see the need for is that you don't know who the donors are to say, can I contact them and ask them, would you be willing to donate blood? And so that's the part I see the need, that there needs to be some space where we know these are donors. We could contact those donors and ask them if they're willing to give. Maybe they give recently and they can't give 128 days or something. Another feedback where I get, so my number is 671-8050. 671-8050. And I tell the family I want to try my best. I've never done this before. Asking people to call, and if you have blood type that's a plus and willing to donate, please make a note. But then, I had to put the word out, I want to know, and then the word come back to me too. It's like, yo, people are charging.
But that's it's incredible to hear about somebody in their 20s being on.
Yes.
That's incredibly sad. It was Parcliffe who was telling me about it, because I think he said he met you at the hospital or something like that. Yeah, so that is, it speaks to the times, right?
Right, and I never, so I asked because, again, Parcliffe that the one way put it in my ears, because him in the day when the accident happened, and so we started to talk about it, and then I meet somebody, and then I said to the person, I said, how the person find out? Because I always want to know backstory. And meet this, I tell Belizean people, because younger and younger people, and that's why I'm going to encourage people with the walking challenge from Belize Diabetes Association, because, and of course I tell your story when I tell the story, no, if either we not Dalavan, one away got diabetes, I don't know, got diabetes, I would live with it. And so I asked the person, I said, how the person find out? And then they tell me how the person find out, but I never know, I still don't know how to learn what the serotonin, I think like the serotonin, when a kidney have one higher count than it should be normally.
Creatine.
There it is. That's what it is. So I didn't learn. And so I just said to, like, we need, so the word I get back is that people are charged to them blood. No, and I'm like, why would people, like, I don't rate that. And then the person said to me, listen, people are struggle out here, and well, more and more, there's a demand and supply right now. More and more people that ask for blood donation. So people have figured I can make some money off it. And I hear that, but I don't support that. Like, I really, you never know when you need blood. And so I encourage Belizean people, give because you can. And trust me, I'll come back to you in your lifetime. So I really, I ask for blood donors, contact me. I'm willing to create one blood donors list, because we really need to know who are people who are giving blood, so that when the people need it, there's a point of contact for it. I want to check in with the Red Cross, because when the research at the Red Cross, I know Brother Ronald Stewart, he doesn't make a know, like they have people, but they wouldn't make their list available so you know who the blood donors are, so you could call there and ask them. I don't know how it works for the public know who the blood donors are. That's why they try and make that link, for the public know who the blood donors are, so we can link them who need the blood. So, that's my 2 cents for this morning. I know that people want to feed you. I never know that Spooners and the new management center on Spooners Reggae Cafe.
You hear that? You hear that, God? Sister Yaya say, no that you know how to feed me. Just it. Just to make sure. Say that again for me now, Sister Yaya, make sure you hear.
Brother God, I know say you feed me, Brother Mose. Why did you just pay so they get free advertisement, promotion, this, that, and feed your house for have that kind of roots vibes? You want to feed your Mose. Eat it up full.
Watch out. Watch out, that's some fried jack there right side of me ears. Rough, you know.
You could eat pasta now?
No. That's not ready. That's not ready. You can't eat and talk. You might choke.
Alright, you got that coffee, you got another cup?
Yeah, that one. I call it baby cocaine. Because when I tell you it's strong bad, the man chants me that baby cocaine.
Yeah. Self-discipline is always...
It's that some kind of Cuban mix kind of thing, it dash. But interesting, you know. But yeah, give thanks. And reach out to Money Mike, because he know a lot more about that area there for sure.
Respect, brother.
Yeah, man.
Only the people and save the people.
100. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Again, for those who are just joining us, I want to know where the hell are they? Well, I'm not dead at hell for sure. Are they essentially are they at heaven, the opposite of it. Because are they on the bank of the Haluva Creek, the Spooners Reggae Cafe used to be called just Spooners Cafe, but then, you know, a Jamaican take it over and you know how it go. Right away, yeah, the thing become reggae. As you can see in the background, where most of the Sardinia sailing boats are. So we got fisher folk actually to come get up this morning live on TV. It's a great visual, it's a great vibe, it's a great ambience. We of course have a little bit of a different weather this morning. Yesterday was gorgeous, sunny, blue skies, no clouds. Today, you know how it got instead of a version of a north, and so things a little bit gray, but that's the way it works. This is the first morning of Reef Week, and we are off, and coming up after our first break, we're actually going to have initiate the conversation surrounding Reef Week, building resilience from ridge to reef. That is the theme for 2025, and yeah, this is just as picturesque and as gorgeous as it gets, and just this, I don't know if you could hear the birds and all of that vibe, loving it. And again, we invite you, if you want to jump in, the telephone number, WhatsApp 6724770. That is the live line for you to get into a conversation, and just keep the phone lead closer to me so I don't miss nobody, because I don't want nobody get grumpy on me this Monday morning. Obviously, the last time that I was here hosting, we were going into election. Now we are about 4 or 5 days, or five days after election thereabouts, and so people are, all the pundits of course have weighed in. I'm not about to put on a pundit hat. I did a little bit of that on Wednesday. It's not exactly my area specialty, but once election comes, we do what we have to do. I don't have enough time into this morning, but I would like to put on, which I think is consequential because it aligns with some of the topics that we've been covering here. So what I've been monitoring over the weekend, remember that the first place on here that Caribbean countries are meeting some days from the U.S. under the new rulers in Washington. And over the past week or so, there's been responses coming out from Caribbean leaders saying, well, if they have to lose a visa, and I think Prime Minister Motley of Barbados was the loudest voice, saying, well, if she has to give up her U.S. visa so that they can continue to respect the Cuba medical assistance, and they would do so. In a very strong speech, it's all over social media. Well, what we hear emerging in the last couple of days is something even more significant and drastic. And I feel that Belizeans should really pay some attention here. There is no talk about a leaked travel ban that's now being considered by the Trump administration. And this travel ban, which in his first term dealt with countries that were more Middle Eastern, is now looking at Caribbean countries. So there are a significant number of Caribbean countries that, and this is something that is not from off a, you'd say, just drag up source. The New York Times reported on this. And while this was never something that on that list, Belize is on the list, there's been multiple videos dealing, and you can go on YouTube where this matter is being discussed, and in several of those videos, there is the talk that Belize is going to be on that list. What we need to understand is that the excuses being given by the Trump administration for why they are contemplating the ban, is that we have too many people that come from these Caribbean countries, according to him, who overstay their visas, were involved with human trafficking, and there was some third reason. No, that is, we have countries like, I know who are definitely on the list so far, Antigua. It's a small little country, and there's going to be like a three-tier thing where you're going to have a red list. There's no Caribbean country on that. And remember, this is a leak. Right now, foreign you get like Belize, we have to rely upon leak. So you want to have one first layer, then one middle layer, where we're under seriously reduced access for travel, not a total ban. Then you're going to third tier, where I include places like Belize potentially, where you have one 60-day window where you can't travel until you pass the test, whatever test that is. And every single time there has been any rumor of a significant, drastic change and adjustment coming out of Washington, the facts always catch up, and the reality is never very far away from what the rumor is. So I still feel that Caribbean leadership from the get-go have been slow, have been more reactive than proactive. And yes, it's good to hear rhetoric, but you have to understand, and again, these are videos that are discussions that are coming out of the US, where they are saying one of the things that they really want to reduce, this in Baleano the play, one of the things that they really want to take on is the level of remittances that are coming out of the US and are essentially buoying the economies of the Caribbean. And that is one of the driving things that they are really, listen, we said it, and we've been saying it, the game don't change. Things different. Them brother are different. The rule book gone. And Caribbean has sat around, Caribbean leadership has sat around, and they did the idleness self, wait for things happen, then shout and bag. As compared to what we see other parts of the world doing with our, now they understand how things have changed and are setting their sails to deal with the new direction of the wind. So this one become just as how right on the shore And thanks to a former Minister of Foreign Affairs, we'll share with information and will get posted on the U.S. State Department website that they want to crunch down on the Cuban medical missions that have been deployed throughout the Caribbean. Now we know that that is the big talk. Right now, hot on that heels is now the new reality of a travel ban. Potentially, we could be on that list. Now, we have not been named to that list, but I have watched several video conversations that say, yes, Belize is going to be a part of that list, Jamaica is going to be a part of that list. Right now, we are not. The thing is, though, is that the reasons being given for why this is going to be done, we find ourselves having some issues and some problems there. The rule book is out. It's a whole different ball game, and we don't have all the time this morning to really amplify and to expand this conversation, but I felt do the bong to at least put that on your table this morning to say, listen, if you think that we could just sit down and just watch at all this change to go on, and that we don't have significant adversity to deal with, significant challenges to deal with, hardships to come, listen, you think that you might not personally be inconvenienced by the change in the weather coming out of Washington, and I'm telling you, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when and how. The MP player, they know the play. And we have to have one mind as how, if these conversations right now are going on, and these conversations, at least the ones I saw online, they're not being led by anybody out of the Caribbean. These are Americans that talk about, whoa, the Caribbean want to take a lick. That's where they call next. Everybody else don't get in among. They say, the Caribbean up next. That they want to get it now. And talking about all the limitations where you have on your ability to go visit your family members. That day we there. That's where we are. And we need to essentially speak to the leaders of the country. We have a newly elected government, even though most of them have been there. But it's a new administration. This is now the 2025 version of the Bisenyo administration. And it's a great margin of victory. And for those who have won, they're happy. Winning is everything, they say. But it's important for those who have won to deal with the reality of leading in 2025. Welcome to Donald Trump's world. Yes, brother. Bless and respect. Catch some big fish and bring it back. Yeah, man. The reality is, to those who now go to Belmopan, I don't know kicks the world or kicksily small responsibility you have to deal with. You're the entire world we're turned upside down. The old rules have been discarded. These are elbows out. These are every man for himself. The hardships around come from the tariff trade war. The different versions of extortion and essentially foreign policy weaponizing, which we have become a part of increasingly. Is you are entering leadership, or now your leadership tenure is where they call on, they're under stiff wind and big water. As we would have said, water and white. That's what we're dealing with. So to those who have been elected to lead, they're not about, oh, champagne moment, or you're happy again. You understand, this are no giddiness. You're responsible for a flock in our world. We're not to play with nothing right now. And we're going to have to be ready to deal with that. We have a call, then we got a break. WUB, good morning.
Good morning, my esteemed brother Mose. How are you this morning, sir?
I am extremely blessed. I am extremely pleased where I'm at. The vibes is beautiful to get Reef Week started. Talk to me. What's going on?
All right, Reverend Katusi. I was just wanting to ask you a question. I'm looking for information I don't have. That is, do you know if our government have been paying Cuba for those teams to come to Belize in addition to us paying them salaries here when they're in Belize? Do you know if there's an assessment?
I will have to use the words of PM Motley. She said if that is what they're accusing the Caribbean countries of, tell them to provide the proof. Provide the proof of the fact that we have been participating in human trafficking. Provide the proof that we've been working people. They are forced to work. They are not being compensated, but we are giving money to their leaders. As far as I am concerned, at least my understanding, and again, this is not fact, I don't know this for certain, but I've always been under the impression that what happens here is that the people they are compensated, and there is also, I know in the case of when the COVID situation was going on, that there was that was also a package where there were certain compensation that goes to the regime in Cuba as well. People are come here, they are compensated, and then there is something worked out from the government to government level. But there is no case where the leadership of these countries, and again, if the U.S. State Department is making that allegation, then they should back it up and provide the proof. If it is so, then we are going to find out, because the leadership in the Caribbean, at least up to now, they speak with some level of courage and are saying, you know, we're not accepting your statement. We are not accepting your allegation. Prove it to be the case.
Yeah, because if one does, then it would fit into the category of human trafficking if, in fact, these people don't have any control over being sent wherever they're being sent by the regime, and if the regime is sending them to places that are paying them,
so let me put it to you like this then. Then the U.S. itself is responsible for human trafficking, because I mean, in that sense, if that is the argument you're going to use, then we can go right to the example of the U.S. paying for paying countries like Kenya and working out diplomatic transactions, and it is the Kenyan police officers who are then deployed, many of their families not wanting them to go into a danger zone. We even have people that have left countries like Jamaica from Belize who have gone there on behalf of a foreign policy decision coming out of the US and the UN. So the fact that a regime is going to say we are going to help out a country, that happens. We have sent people when natural disasters have hit different countries. So this is not, brother, anybody that feels that this is not a matter of where we have an administration that has really decided that it is going to squeeze its foreign policy energy to ensure that there's a zero tolerance for any type of, in their minds, disloyalty. So they would look at the Caribbean support for Cuba to be in the OAS, the Caribbean support of the embargo to end. They now look at that as being, you know what? We tired of Uno. Uno better, we are either you sever that kind of solidarity, or we have ways so we are tighten it upon you. It's really just, this is a new time, brother. Then, brother, you know the play. I got to go to break, but thanks for the call. It's 7:29 inside the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. This morning's team is Breeze Blow Pelicans, the same place where you want to go. Because I we one day. Fry Jack smell in our nose, see breeze in our hair, and Pelican just the blow about, sailing boats behind we. It's lovely. Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, first morning of Reef Week. Again, as we mentioned, we have special sponsors for Reef Week. When we come back, we're going to have Fisher Folk, the representing in the conversation. We'll be right back.
All right, so Easter there, all right? And a lot of people want to they figure out where to go for the Easter. I can't tell you no. The owner to tell me, so I want to hear from you 2 cents pan the Easter, whether the best place to go. All right? Pa XTV. Let's go. All right, I was asking, where you going for the Easter? Tell me where you're 2 cents. Where you going for the Easter?
My 2 cents, I'm going to the break cabin, you know, where part the cool breeze blow, where the nice breeze and, you know, go to the place there, nice riverside. To make everybody feel cool, man. Anyway, you want to go in this place, man, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're 2 cents.
Yeah, 2 cents.
Where you going for the Easter, Papa?
Bye. This Easter right there, you know. Right down my shop, have to make the money.
I want to go in the shop here.
Bye. Sell a little nachos, a little ice cream, sell a little ceviche. Don't know.
So you open up a business?
Oh, yes, man.
That for the Easter?
Yes, I.
Yeah, you're 2 cents.
Yes, man.
All
Come,
right.
pull up.
Where tell me we're going for the Easter, where you for the Easter?
Easter break? Well,
Yeah.
then me dey plan for go to key, but no, I got a key that.
What you do?
I go buy me little pool, get me little coconut leaf, me little coconut, you know.
Yeah.
Decorate back there around me little pool, you know. I do me little Easter thing back there, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Less money spending, you know.
Why you say that now, guy for now?
Well, no get le, me the badnta ubohu kaya badna. No san soon no bagay ya Easter ya lian follow so. Na nigga tide mo follow ma. Me nichu ni yen yara back ne so kuni sun kate yara back. How many rang how much no me bomo me kate.
All right. All right. All right. Tell me where you going for the Easter.
No way.
Why?
Stay home.
What you do? Stay home and do what?
Huh?
Stay home and do what?
Just relax.
Just relax?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going for the Easter.
I'm not so sure right now.
You don't know it?
Not yet.
You got plans, though?
Well, not sure.
Where are you going to take the kids?
Well, my kids done ask me for care than that all believe right now.
Okay. Okay, so we're going for the Easter.
Well, you have to stay home and working.
That way you
That's
are for
all,
the Easter?
yeah.
You going nowhere?
Nowhere, stay home. Man.
Tell me where you do. Okay, so work. So what you do?
Yeah, we actually do sea repairs on vehicles.
Okay. So you got a job we have to do for the Easter?
We have a lot of work, so we have to.
So you are
try
chill?
it. Yes.
We're going for Easter, Papa?
Kika coming.
That where you going?
That's the spot where everybody needs to go to.
You want?
Yeah, me one. No care son of it.
Where that spot for Easter? Where that spot?
Right at key. Which key?
Which key?
Kikaka.
You want going?
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's Monday morning, 17th of March. Again, if we look, if our office space looks different, that's because it is. We're not back at the zinc. We're up on water side. Halova Creek. We did a Spooner's Reggae Cafe. And the reason why we're here, that's not just because we like the show, we love show itself, for sure. But we got purpose in our showing ourselves this week because it is Reef Week 2025, Building Resilience from Ridge to Reef. I am Mose Hyde hosting today, and if you are familiar, you know this is something that happens every year. We line up and bring you Reef Week. And let me just mention the sponsors that we have for this special edition of WB, which is going to be throughout the week. Atlantic Bank, Benny's Home Center, Central Bank of Belize, CG United, Freetown Drugstore, Port of Belize, Wildlife Conservation Society, Oceana, Marlon Castillo Quality Meats, Human Dignity Trust, Design Depot, and World Wildlife Fund. And let me as well just quickly mention Building Resilience from Ridge to Reef is the team, and we are celebrating. As you know, we are a founding member of Reef Week celebration here in Belize, and it's a thing that we are very proud of. I am now joined by two prominent leaders in the Belize Federation of Fishers. First conversation with the fisher folk, appropriately that we're there. We got fisherman back, we line up in the creek. We have from deep down south, we have Brother Densfield Augustine. He is the chairman of the St. Bite Fisher Association. And we have with us Vonetta Dawson, who is the ex-chair lady of Wabafu Fishers Association for Dangwiga. So the South represented here right now to start it off. I have to say good morning and welcome to you both. When you come from far. Now I have to start with the sister first. But ladies first, sir. Tell me about yourself and tell me about your association before we go deeper into things. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I have Vonetta Dawson, come from a fishing family from Dangwiga. All my life I am a fisher. Part of our association, the Dangwiga Wabafu, we try to fight hard for fishers, get more known and treat fairly, especially the blue band situation and stuff like that. So I stand up for most fisher most of the time because that's something where I love to do.
All right, so we can get to that. So you're not a fisher. You don't know just to a member of the association.
No.
You actually go to water.
Yes.
Oh, let's make sure that they know that.
Jack of all trades in the water too.
All right, everything.
Everything.
So you not only fish, but you dive.
Also dive.
There we go. Respect. But Densfield, again, give thanks that you guys come all the way from the south. Good, give thanks to Nigel Martinez, the president of the BFF, for coordinating with us. Good having you here. Tell me about your association from St. Bite and a little bit about yourself as well.
As you know, I'm Densfield Augustine. I retired clerk, went back into fishing.
So you used to be.
I used to work with the government.
You used in the office.
Yeah.
You decide no day that no more.
I grew up fishing.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm back with it, and basically the objective in St. Bite fishing went a little dormant sometime.
Why would that happen? Why?
It'll be because traditionally we would fish near the coast.
Yeah.
And you don't get enough fishing along the coast. So, and the influx of tourism, with the influx of tourism on the peninsula, a lot of people tend to go into tourism, tour guides. Other people find jobs outside. When I went back home, we still have older folks fishing, but some younger folks did not have any jobs. So my intake was to revive the fishing industry, so that people realize what they are seeing, because people see things sometimes that they don't realize it. So we revived back that fishing association, and we're heading back on top of fishing.
No, to both of you, because before we jump into this conversation here and get live on here, we mentioned, I said, man, we don't really take it seriously because we come all the way from south for there would be early this morning. In fact, but I didn't feel there before 7 o'clock. Sister Dawson there before 7:30. So we obviously take this opportunity seriously to come and talk to the nation. So I want to find out from both of you why we don't take it so seriously.
Well, from my standpoint, two reasons. One, as I mentioned, you sometimes wait until somebody make an opportunity for you. You have to go out and get it. And if there's means and ways that you can create that, then you go for it. That's one. Second, we believe that fishers are not being treated fairly. They say you live something, you are the one who experiences it, who feels it, knows it. And a lot of times people who are sitting behind closed doors, behind the offices, are making decisions that are affecting us who are actually living it out there. So we want to highlight that. So those are the two main reasons.
Sister?
And like when Mr. Augustine says, seeing the things that are happening out at sea, and you not make a stand about it, whether we are left at the end of the day for go and job for continuous supply and feed with family after the job where we love, and I grew up on it, so I have to put and stand and help the fishers be seen and more respected in the field of job where we do.
Know that we are here, we know that our time is limited. But what are the most important thing, both of you respond to this, what are the most important thing you want everybody where they listen and watch the show today know, you as a fisher and your fellow fisher folk, sisters and brothers, the face in 2025? What are the number one thing we want to make sure with the time we have here, everybody where they listen and watch know about?
Well, the most important thing I think everybody should look at it, I don't want a minister come and sit with fishers and feel where they go through, help with lowering the gas, because I think fishers use the most gas in Belize and it's very expensive for we for fish and thing. Because like sometimes for me, that Griga, my expense are like $1,000 for 3-4 days. And that the gas that the biggest part of it, and sometimes we don't make none at all, and then you have grants come in for everybody, but we happen to weed at the south when area 3 to me that the most flourishing area where everybody want to fish, and we're being left out.
Okay, so just to make sure that, okay, I got one the idea when you say area 3, but people who listen and watch don't know what they happy with it but when we say area 3. So what are area 3?
Well, there's zone we know in different areas, and area 3 is in front of Dangriga all the way to Placencia, St. Bite, and those areas we are zoned off in two areas to fish. And in area 3 we are very responsible fishers, so everybody want to come in the area and fish, but when you hear about grants being given to things, and then worse if you hear association is not together, you don't have an association, they don't really look for you. So like people like BFF, and so we appreciate that they push more into them. So people when not really have an association and you're a true fisher, you still get assist. You're not left out because you don't have no association where could get this grant and push it. We have people like BFF where could receive those things and still help down the fishers down beneath. So they need to come and look more into the guy, like the minister again, to come and sit it with and say how then could help it, just like the cane farmers there.
What I didn't feel?
I can't echo that more than I could even possibly imagine. You understand me? Because like I said, on my behalf, like I said, I want to look on the fishers more. We have the enforcement parts of fisheries, and we have the social aspect where we fall in as the fishermen. You know, and we need to get looked at. Everything, like again, thanks to BFF, then they highlight these things that where they assist we, in the well-being of fishers, that then they look out for we, that then they make sure like, hey, listen to me, man, this not really the run. So or this is what this translates into. So these are then have we eyes and ears and more understanding because, but no, but all we get from other entities is enforcement. Oh well, this is our change. You have to do this like that. You have to do it. But then our well-being is like people they omit the fact that we actually survive and feed our families and send our kids to school. So what's in place for us to say help us, put the piece of puzzle together, so we both coexist? Because yeah, we have to have enforcement. Like with this blue bond, the zones are being narrowed in. So they're like you actually they feel now like then they push you out of the sea for come back on land. And this is your livelihood. So we want them to look at these things and create some balance whereby fishermen could be could live easier and actually survive properly.
No, one of the things fun listening to Nigel and hearing from you both right here is, and this is just an observation of my opinion, right, is that right now, we have seen in the past where fisher folk and the conservation community would have times when they have a good understanding and they seem for they more in line. But just for hearing the cries and Nigel on the behalf of the fisher folk, especially those in a BFF, I think it's fair to say that right now, conservation community and fisher folk community not to say eye to eye, that on a relationship not in a good place.
I would definitely say so, yes, because there's a lot more dialogue that needs to happen. There's a lot more because sometimes you get certain things halfway, Mose. Like people don't come to you with the meat of this thing here. Give you halfway so that they could facilitate their agenda. You understand? And then after that, boom, you switch by you like that. They're like, okay, then fishers like left, where go on? Then you see it fix up again because that was give and take situation, but I think they have to emphasize more on how it affects the fisher folks because these are the guys who are on the ground on a daily basis. And a lot of times laws are being passed, things have been put into place, and we are not being consulted or the way you think about this. You don't hear that. When they come to you because they don't tell you we're done in place.
Sister?
The management access.
Illegal fishing not take place. But when that going to come out back, you are sit down and you are say, but this wasn't why we sit down and agreed to it. Something can shift in their own way they want to shift it to, and it cause conflict with the fishers, and sometimes we be very stubborn to certain things if we don't want it, so then we don't want to deal with the entities, then we come in again because we look on it like they have some agenda. Big money they come in, so if we have to lock off this, lock off that, so we could get the amount of money come our way, but they go to the correct people now for benefit from it.
No, when we come back, we discuss the matter of, if you're a fisher folk, the number one thing we have to be worried about how much fish there. And we know that we've had a big misunderstanding about the state of fishing. Well, when we get up the morning, we go look for fish. For no testimony, very important, I would think. So we are going to break, we have to respect with sponsors. This is the Reef Week 2025 coverage right here in the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Proud founding member of Reef Week celebration here in Belize. Zinc 100 Creme Radio XTV. Mose Hyde hosting today. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're just proud and happy that we got fisher folk, real fisher folk. Real people who get up in the morning and go look for fish, look for lobster, look for conch. We know 95 to about 99% away. We got lobster mouth, we got conch mouth, we got fish mouth. We know it. This morning I want to eat fried fish with them, they go good. I know, but I got usually guys salt fish. But the only thing you sell for guys salt fish. We're going to come back. This is Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes.
Enhanced
Right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's Monday morning, it's March the 17th, 2025, and we're celebrating Reef Week 2025, and we've had for the past segment, and they remain with us for a little bit here, representing the Belize Federation of Fishers. We have two organizers, leaders, and fisher folk themselves from down south, out of Dangriga, the ex-chair-lady of Wabafu Fishers Association, Bonetta Dawson, and Densfield Augustine, chair of the St. Bite Fisher Association. We said before we took the break that when we come back, we'll talk about the difficulty in finding product, finding the fish, finding the lobster, finding the conchs. What are your personal experiences with that? Did it get better? Did it get worse? You did it? Now struggle? Tell me.
They get better because right now we have a lot of recreational fishing alongside the licensed fishers. So when I used to fish, and like right now we have yellowtail in right now the Kui area. Well, I think everywhere in I believe that the yellowtail in the bite right now. And we usually go to the areas we know they were there and we test them out. We fish the first step to see the size. If they're the small ones, they go and we send them no coin yet. We go back until we find the sizes then we like. But right now with the recreational fishers, then when they go, they not then just wet the sweetness of how the fish they bite. They not the fishing and pack everything and curry it and so that to me if we issue with the changes of the fish them and so how you got the smaller ones them not get that break for grow bigger and go and come back again because they're migratory animals and things like that. But for me who do inside and deep slope fishing, more easier for me than fishers where just do inside fishing because then I track the fish how then they move so I could get the amount to try make my expense, you know.
Tell me about your situation, how you see it, but I can feel.
To my mind, we face a lot of challenges when it we have global warming. We have again as Ms. Vanetta mentioned, in area 3, it's a hugely populated area when it comes to fishers. That area get fishing more than anything else, and then the amount of for the 4,000 and odd licensed fishermen, that's a good amount, and I believe 2/3 of that are those fishermen fishing that area. You know, and that's the one, and we also have the illegal fishers, you know, and we have what we would call opportunists that fish. All these elements they take away from finding good product and more product. So definitely the fishing the fish stock they deplete. That's a no doubt about it. That's exactly what happened, but we have to take into consideration all the other elements that involve the reason why they deplete. You know, we have fishermen who fishing only on seasons, and these guys are the more equipped guys because when they go for haul, then they go with proper equipment for haul, whereas we who do it throughout the year, we fishing more sustainable, right? So if it would have been if it could stay that way, then we probably would have saved a lot more fishing, a lot of fish coming in. But whenever these guys opportunists go out there with all the equipment and haul out so much, we don't know much who we stand against.
No, besides the obvious challenger, that type of competition, you also have to deal with cross-border people coming in, no?
Exactly. So all these elements, you know, like Ms. Moneta said, yes, it's harder for fishermen because a lot of times you have to start to learn the ways of how the fish they behave, and you have to keep on looking for fish and going here and there, which spells into more fuel, which spells into more your groceries whatsoever, because you might have to spend more time than your maybe a 3-day trip or your plan. Because nobody now wants to spend so much money for so much gas to go there and then you come back empty-handed.
One of the challenges for fisher folk, and I guess the Federation of Fishers most experience it, that you see how you guys could work together. Because then you got fishers where they don't sow, right? And then you got the fisher in half, I believe, city, then you got fishers where they come from the north, from starting in hand too much. And for kind of bridge them gap, it's not like one of the, for me could organize together, advocate together, and really challenge your benefits. How difficult is that? At least from the outside, it seems to me to be one of the, like if you compare sugarcane farmers, like then from one area, one culture in our way, so then when they work together, even though you got 3 different associations. How uno say working together, bridging all the different gaps you wanna have, culture and you know, we found located. That make you kind of it hard to reach that full strength.
Well, the thing is, I believe, like I said, the bridging that gap is very important. That's definitely a point taken, because as is, it's non-existent. As a matter of fact, some fishers even find themselves being territorial, because you're going out here, like let's say for example, but we don't have whole no gripes against anybody, but some people see it a different way. Certainly having all the way down there the fishing, and like we know the game of break with food stuff, you know, but you can't think like that because the sea don't belong to just one individual or a couple of people. But at least if we could, and this is the reason why we enroll with BFF, so that we could find amicable solutions that we could bring to the table, so all the fishermen they coexist, because we need to feed everybody happy. Right? But then basically people, and this is one of the next problem, that we have other entities coming in and putting in enforcement, but they are not seeking that avenue for different fishers to get together. And I would call on any other fishing organization, let's get together and make we fight for something where we will help we, because not because you eat your steak, you know, you don't worry about we too, because at the end of the day, the laws of the sea is that if we meet out there, we have to help one another. So make we help one another out there, just like we help make we help one another upon land with our issues and the laws that are put out for us or against us, whatever the case may be. Let's find a way how we could fix it.
You mentioned that you need somebody. In fact, you specified the minister for come and sit down and talk with you guys. Has there ever been that moment when somebody at that magnitude meet with fisher folk and have a conversation? You know,
not that I can recall, but when I sat as a chairlady, we sent a letter for the minister to sit with us and in the conversation and how the fishers feel about certain things, but he was a no-show. A person from Fisheries Department showed up instead. You know? And talking about coming with other fishers from north to south, I believe that's something where I always talk about to different NGOs and things like that, because we fish different. Not for bash the fishers, but I see that the people from the south fishing more sustainable than the one from the north. We go as far as go to the sailboats and ask for the conch shells and go throw it on the island ourselves, because then also with the conch, the less seen of the conch on the ground and so, because the too much dead beds, and then they dive too much dead beds. They dive the conch and broke it right upon and dive it. And then nobody want to chill out in a burial ground. You know, they move and they go about. So we try like go there, get the conch shell and carry it on the island. When I'm younger, sailboat actually load all of them conchs, and you see them come by one island and they broke and full up the island like that. But you know they happen so no more. I don't know if they not trust each other's pan their boat, why they broke their thing and back their one conchs and go pack it. But I think if they go back to how they just do it first, it'll be more sustained for the conchs, and then the lot of dead beds or go block it on the reef top for build it or something, you know. So things like that, I think we need to get together, sit, talk about and see how we could come to a better understanding. And when you come in at the area, they do and don't, so we appreciate being a fisher.
At the end of the day, this I want to love though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do any other thing. So if you're not for the reef, being like this place where really promote the marine life, where make you able to have one living like this. This are the greatest thing in our way. Like this is how you feed your family. You mentioned that. I know that you used to be a public servant, but the sea pull you back. Tell me about that part, the love of the sea and the love of the reef and the love of this style of life, this lifestyle, as the way of living. Tell me about that before we wrap.
Well, for me, the sea amazing. I enjoy even my Belizeans, they when I know the reef or the keys, I invite people, make them go see it, enjoy it. Because I been under the sea dive and everything, you notice that same thing where the mountains got the sea got. It got mountains down there, it got beautiful plants, trees, everything like we see on land, you see something similar there in the fish wise, in the thing wise. So that does something amazing and beautiful for I and peaceful where I live off and thing. But seeing from then to the changes where they happen in it, we need for the comments and pay more attention to the fishers and the job where we do, therefore keep it how we there and things like that.
Well, the sea, basically for me, the sea, that's serenity. The sea that we park will get me peace. Away from the hustle and bustle, away from all the noise from the mainland. But much more than that, it's definitely a source of income. You know, it's definitely a source of food. It's nature giving back, and I'll like for Reef Week we have to mention that we got to give back time and the way how we take care of it, so that they are there for generations to come. A lot of generations, because the sea very rich, and for me, I don't have to go $1 million to feel rich. I mean, I could just jump in there today and I could eat for today. I don't need no paper. I don't need no money. I could go and swim and I could eat that fish for the day. So that fish
make me take that for granted.
Exactly.
That the generation after that will have the opportunity there. Yeah.
You understand me? So being the sea that one man can't live without it, we can't survive without it. So we have to take care of it. We have to take care of it, and I applaud a lot of the South fishermen, as Ms. Vonetta said. We try our best for fishing sustainable. We try our best to take care of with source of income and food.
And people, because me when I fish and I do deep slope, we use fish as bait. And if we have an amount left, we not throw it, we bring it that tongue, and you want some fish, you just give it to people who that come wrong and they would want to leave fish but not have the amount for pay for get the fish. So we just have a box there where they telling, come see fish there, you get your leaf fish and you carry it home, right? So we also share the things from out there with people too. Because sometimes you want to eat a nice crab, we just hear you and come and give you with that crab. We hear you massacre, so we bring conchs or so make soup for the people, and fishers that kind people too, so we also share, we catch with people just like that too.
Very important, Brother Mose, what Ms. Vonetta say, very important we really put that out there, because it's so true. We face a lot of things in Belize. We have a lot of single mothers. We have people in the work. You understand me? And some people find it hard to even find a proper plate of food for the day. And this is serious thing. This actually they happen in Belize. And fisher do their part. They do their part. Here only maybe a 2-3 pound of fish, somebody could eat that for the day. So they're not just about we making money. you know.
Like one day I sit at the market, they sell, I have conchs, I have fish, and a lady come. She said, I want to make some conchs to sell so I could get some food for my baby to eat after school. So she come and buy one conch, because only that she could afford. So I sit down and I look and say, but what one conch went to fill? So I get a bag of conchs and I say, Mom, this stuff for your kids then. Go and make your conch splitters and sell so your kids could get when they want when they come home from it. So that things like that fishers also enjoy doing because we could do it.
Exactly.
You know, but it's nicer for we give more if government help with less gas and different things like that.
Respect. Well, next time too, the content upon WB, you bring one at least something, one at least 2 snappers, something, make we go there pack cliff. Wouldn't have be bad at all. But
show for the fish.
Well, you know, but I got one shrimp. Guess what? I want to thank you both. I really enjoyed the conversation. I really have great appreciation for the fact that you come from far to Korea this morning, and that speaks to how serious you take on responsibility for on a lifestyle and on a profession, but also to represent other fisher folk here this morning. And we will have more fisher folk before the week is out. But I want to thank you both for coming by.
Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for, on behalf of BFF, thanks for giving us this opportunity to voice our opinions, and more so, not only so, but also get an opportunity for us other officials to join us, you know, in this struggle and make the thing right, man. Make we look out for yourself, you know. So definitely, everybody welcome, and if we don't move together, we can't move single because we don't achieve a goal.
All right.
Yeah.
Again, I want to thank you both. We are going to go to a break and come back. And when we come back, we're going to have another guest in our Halova Quick Studio, a.k.a. Spooner's Reggae Cafe, where we want to thank the ownership for accommodating Reef Week coverage, starting today, of course. We break, we come back.
En Belice valoramos a nuestras familias.
celebrating Reef Week 2025 from Spooner's Reggae Cafe, Mose Hyde hosting. And let me just take this opportunity to give thanks to our sponsors who are making it possible. Atlantic Bank, Benny's Home Center, Central Bank of Belize, CG United, Freetown Drugstore, Port of Belize, Wildlife Conservation Society, Oceana, Marlon Castillo Quality Meats, Human Dignity Trust, Design Depot, and World Wildlife Fund. Those are our sponsors. And we are celebrating this year's under the theme Building Resilience from Ridge to the Reef. And right now, for this segment, we have one of our own colleagues here to join me via Zoom, journalist and well-known activist, my brother Marco Lopez Adesio. I don't know if you hear me. You hear me, Marco? All right, waiting to see if Marco to hear me. You hear me, brother? All right, so we're trying to coordinate it with Marco as we have him via Zoom. Marco, you just give me a sign to hear me. Okay, your volume is low according to... Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Mic is mute, Mose.
I know, my mic isn't mute, and I'm hearing you.
Mic on Zoom, the mic on Zoom is mute.
The mic on Zoom is mute, he says. All right, so studio, you need to correct that. You need to exit. Studio, 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 you need to exit. Studio. All right, so we're definitely having some kind of problem there. All right. Are you hearing me now, Marco? I'm hearing Marco, but Marco is not hearing me. Can we just quickly...
just open the mic on Zoom because we hear your voice.
Yeah, I have said to them to do that. So we are trying to just coordinate this conversation with Marco. He's written another article. We know that he has written several articles dealing with the issue of our fishing stock. But now he's written one which is an online magazine, it seems, but we'll hear it from him, dealing with the Caribbean shark and its numbers rebounding. So we're just trying to get Marco lined up, but the Zoom, we're having some technical difficulty or the other trying to work that out. Are we ready to try again, Harlan? Or so? All right, I'm just seeing multiple images of my own self. I don't think that that's the plan. Again, you are tuned into Creme Radio watching XTV, and this is Reef Week 2025. And for those who are watching us and seeing that we are not in our usual studio, it's because we are bringing this live coverage from the Spooner's Reggae Cafe, where we are very thankful for the fact that they're hosting us throughout this week. Usually we've been in some very exotic places across the coast of Belize. We're in an extremely exotic place right in the front yard. Right here, the Halova Creek by Swing Bridge. And throughout the week we will be here until Friday, and we have a long list of what we'd say marine celebrities who will be joining us. Are we going to try this again with Marco, or I don't know what has happened to the link. We have lost the link. We have lost the link with Marco. All right, so we will have to try to correct that, but obviously we will try to get back Marco. If we're unable to get him this morning, we will try to get him back again, because one of the things about his article is there's not always a lot of good news that we have to share about the reef. His article covers one of those good news. Now, there are those who might say, well, that's not good news any at all. But let me see, I have a call coming in. WUB, good morning.
Hi, good morning, top of the morning, Mose. How are you today?
I'm well. Big wins. What's going on?
I'm loving the backdrop. I'm loving the backdrop.
I hope so.
Is the subject this morning something about Marine Week or something like
It's
that?
Reef Week. We celebrate Reef. I'm surprised that you don't know that we celebrate Reef Week every year. You are too big
Yes.
All right. But there you are celebrating some marine something. You should know it's Reef Week, brother.
Reef Week, exactly. My comments regarding Reef Week, as a little boy going to the Keys, saltwater and Tobacco Key, of course, is that my recent visits, I should say, to back home, is that the fishing is not the same. It is not the same at all. Back in the days as a little boy, when I used to go fishing with my dad, drop a line, and within 5 minutes you would land something. Now you could be trolling for 2-3 hours and don't even get a bite, So, definitely, as a citizen of Belize, I'm concerned about the fishing is not the same. I don't know what we could do differently, or the fishermen could do differently to make it more, like back in the good old days. So.
Well, anyway. we had a significant conversation just prior to this segment with two fishers from the south. We had one representing St. Bite. We had a session representing Dangriga, which would be in your neck of the woods there in Tobacco Key and Saltwater Key reserve area. And so they are speaking to some of the changes and some of the challenges that have created those changes. And there has been this ongoing contentious conversation, let's call it, going on, where there have been legitimate scientific studies done to establish the fishing stock, and there's this divide between what the main fisher folk representative organization has been saying and the official fisheries department government's position on our fishing stock. Anybody that loves fishing and has been fishing for a while have a similar experience to you, that it's not the same. And so ultimately the fact that the government is disputing that and the official fisheries department disputes that science is quite like surprising to me, because I think they were uncomfortable. I think it was the former Vice President Al Gore who had a documentary called The Inconvenient Truth as it relates to global warming. Well, there are times when the truth is inconvenient, but it doesn't make it, we can't ignore it. It might be uncomfortable, the reality might be unpleasant, but you have to face that reality if you are supposed to survive it. So trying to hide away from what the real is, and you only come here like I guess maybe a couple of times for the year, and you will go there and you're experiencing the stark difference. This is just the truth. We have to deal with it.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Mose, I will go and listen off the phone, and
don't give thanks to the call.
Yes, man, definitely, and be careful of those guys in the backdrop. I just want to make sure no one is taking a shower or a rinse off in the backdrop,
We don't have no control over them part, my brother. We actually saw some of that this morning. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah. This is real life, brother. This I don't want prop.
Yes, most
I don't want painting. All right.
But I love the backdrop, though. It's very.
It make you want to come home now, no?
Absolutely. You got to do more of that. Different parts of the country. Different parts of the
All right. Respect and give thanks. Yeah. So that's the essence of it. That's the essence of Reef Week. We don't only love having this great wealth that we are in custody of, that we are the caretakers of. It's a love, but it's also a way of life. And for those who depend on it, it is how they survive. And because of this, we feel obligated to come here. Only 5 mornings. In fact, usually it's only 4. This week, we got an extra day because we are a week delayed. But it's great, and we know that this is important work to do, important conversations to have, and we are looking forward to it. So as I was mentioning, Brother Marco's latest article that he has done, and we will get a chance, I'm sure, before the week is out to get that conversation in, deals with the rebound of the Caribbean shark, which was experiencing a significant decline. The latest indication is that though they are rebounding. Now, for some people who don't like sharks or fear sharks, this is not something that they would think is good news. But for people who understand the balance of the ecosystem, the balance of the food chain depends on the apex predator. And you cannot have balance if the top dog is not there. It's like trying to have a stable society without having security and enforcement. Very few people love security and enforcement, but what they don't want to deal with is a community that doesn't have it. Well, that's the same for the marine environment. The shark, whether you like him or not, that's the apex, that's the top dog, that's the enforcement. Make sure that everybody stay in check, and that's how you end up having a healthy environment. So that is good news whether you like sharks or you don't. Not talk about no jazz business. So when we do get a chance to link up back with Brother Marco, we're going to hear more about that article. Right now what we're going to do is to take a break and come back with our final wrap for the Monday morning serving of Reef Week 2025.
In hand.
All right, welcome back to Reef Week 2025. This is the first morning, and we are at the Spooners Reggae Cafe for the week. Not back at the Zinc, not in our studios. This is what we do annually. This time around, of course, we are a week late, as last week, of course, we know what happened. We had general elections 2025, and so we have to, wait till all that happened. Now we're ready for do what we're going to have to do. Do the Reef Week, and we started off. We were scheduled to have Marco Lopez join us this morning, but unfortunately, it's a bit tricky to do a Zoom by remote, and we had a little problem there. But we should have Marco come in. He said he's going to get off the Zoom. He's going to come in person. So that's going to happen this week, right? We're going to have the great Marco Lopez join us, and many others before it's all done. We want to again thank our brother Gart and the entire crew here at the Spooners Reggae Cafe for hosting us. Almost didn't get access to the studio this morning because Gart had some difficulties, but we will talk to him about those difficulties on Friday. We somehow managed to get into the place on the 11th hour, and that's how it all happened. But we are here to find out why we never get in the studio this morning on time. But we are wait till Friday, sir. Yes. Yes. We are here with the full story. Full. Nothing edited, nothing censored. But all is well that ends well, they say. So let us just take this opportunity to give thanks to the sponsors who are responsible for supporting us. And that list this morning includes Atlantic Bank, Benny's Home Center, Central Bank of Belize, the Borrow Me Eyes Assistance, CG United, Freetown Drugstore, Port of Belize, Wildlife Conservation Society, Oceana, Marlon Castillo Quality Meats, Human Dignity Trust, Design Depot, World Wildlife Fund. Of course, these are besides the regular sponsors that make the WUB possible on a daily basis. And without you who tune in and watch, you know the deal, it not happen. So we're glad that you have taken time out this morning to spend with us. Without the team behind the scene, it doesn't work. So we just got to give thanks to those who are making it possible. Back at Zinc Fence, we have in studio at Creme, Larry G, upstairs at XTV. We have Alexi Belial here on location. We have the glue, the one and only Mr. Cliff Lewis. We have Harlan Wagner, and we have Miss Ayana Leslie bringing you the WB Reef Week coverage live from Spooners Reggae Cafe, Halova Creek, Belize City, Belize. We hope you have a great Monday. Join us again tomorrow morning, same spot, same time. Once we have health and strength, we're going to be here to bring you live and direct Reef Week 2025. Until then, as always, stand strong, stand firm. We're gone!
Wake up, Belize.